very quirky, very weird, very special cars, and it was an amazing opportunity to be there to film these videos. So at the end, I had filmed 5. And I had 1 slot open. And the other cars in the showroom, some of them were stuff I had already done, some were stuff I didn't think would do that well. So kind of as a joke, I said to Miguel, who was one of the people who worked there, I said, why don't I film your Hyundai?
Precision and grace.
And Miguel was driving a 2002 Hyundai Equus, which was a first-generation Hyundai that was only sold in Korea. It was sort of a top-of-the-line Equus, but they weren't really sure if they could compete on a global scale, so they only sold it in Asia and Korea. And I said kind of as a joke, like, why don't I film that? You know, might as well. It'll be funny, you know, I'll put it up and whatever. And so I filmed these 5 beautiful, special, amazing exotic cars, and it was an incredible experience driving them to Dubai. And then I filmed Miguel's Hyundai as a joke. And in the end, the Hyundai did the best out of all of them. The rest just didn't do as well.
For Demacia.
Now, I have no regrets about this, and in fact, if I was going back to Dubai, I would still shoot another 6 vintage exotic cars there. The experience was so good, and I do think it's nice to have that sort of depth on the channel. But the simple truth is that people just don't watch videos with older cars at the same rate that they watch videos with newer ones. And I have all the data to back this up. So my viewers, the bulk of my viewers, the vast majority, is between the ages of 20 and 45. These are when people recognize me on the street, come up to me, oh, you're Doug. They are always in that age range, but also, you know, I have YouTube analytics detailed ones that go into exactly who is watching. And that is my primary demographic, 20 to 45. And if you're 20 right now, you know, you were born in 1998, and so people are always kind of into the cars that when they started driving, you know, when they were 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, they're always into cars from that era. So if you're 20, you're into cars from now, you know, like the Mercedes SLS or the LaFerrari, the 918 Spider, or in terms of more regular cars, like maybe the new Miata, the Lincoln Navigator, that sort of thing. So I had to cover that stuff. If you're 30, like I am, you were born in the late 80s, early 90s, mid 80s, you got your driver's license in the mid 2000s. So the cars you're interested in are stuff like the Ford GT, the Porsche Carrera GT, the Enzo, the SLR. In terms of regular cars, weird stuff, the Chevy SSR, the Lincoln Blackwood, the Volkswagen Fayette, and stuff like that. So I find it important to cover those mid 2000s cars. And then if you're 40, 45, you know, you got your license probably in the 1990s, in the 1980s maybe, and so you're interested in cars from that era, you know, like the Lamborghini Diablo, the Ferrari Testarossa, and maybe some other stuff, you know, from the 90s, the E38 BMW 7 Series, like I did, the Mitsubishi 3000 GT, the 300ZX. And so because the bulk of my viewers is in that range, and because those are the cars that they're interested in, those are the ones that I cover. It just makes the most sense to do that to get the most views. Now, people will still ask me, well, okay, but why don't you, you know, just for the sake of our entertainment, why don't you make some videos with some older stuff just so we can have some more variety? And I understand that, but you know, my point of view is, well, it's your entertainment, but it's my job and my business and my income, and it's how I earn a living. And so I can't just go off and sort of willy-nilly choose cars that aren't going to perform well. I do sometimes make those decisions. Choose a car that I want just because I want to see it, or choose a car that I know won't do so well just because I think it's important. But you know, I can't do that frequently. Go off and just kind of make decisions based on cars that I know aren't going to do that well. Ultimately, this is my job, and any business has to make the decision to give the product to the consumer that they most want. And so that's why I focus most on cars from the eras that I just mentioned. Now, with that said, I still do the occasional older car. The last car I did from the 70s or earlier was back in May. I did a 1973 Rolls Royce. But I think that car sort of proves kind of what I'm talking about here. If you take a look at the views on that video versus views